let me now talk about this notion called trance, this process or a state that we go into as a result of either doing hypnosis or self-hypnosis. Now, there is a lot of mysticism out there in the world about hypnosis. And do you, when in hypnosis, lose control, for example? Or are you at the power or under the power of the hypnotist? And the way we're doing this and the way I teach hypnosis and the way I conduct hypnosis, the answer to that question is definitely no. In fact, when you do hypnosis on yourself or when you are hypnotized by a well-trained hypnotherapist, your awareness actually increases. But the sensory band of what you're aware of reduces. So for example, when you do self-hypnosis, you may become less aware of your external environment because your awareness is focused internally. But you'll become more aware of your sensory awareness, or you'll become more aware of your sensory experience, focused attention internally. Now, trance is actually a naturally occurring state. You and I go into trance states regularly throughout our day. And they are based around the circadian rhythms of the body, which has one cycle per day, the circadian rhythm, that enables wakefulness in the morning, hopefully, and for sleepfulness at night, hopefully. I could argue the reverse for teenagers, but I won't. But circadian rhythms let you know in the morning that it's time to be awake. And as the morning progresses and as the day progresses, they let you know when it's time to be asleep and for your body to wind down to go into its sleep cycle. Now, inside that circadian rhythm, there is another aspect called ultradian rhythms that occur much more frequently. And ultradian rhythms occur approximately every 90 minutes throughout our complete cycle. So at night time, when you go to sleep, and on the premise you fall asleep immediately and into a deep sleep, the first cycle of sleep is deep and virtually catatonic. That is where for 90 minutes you fall asleep, you don't move, and approximately 90 minutes later, maybe 100, 110 minutes later, you will rouse from that deep sleep. And this is the first ultradian rhythm shift. You'll have a rapid eye movement, REM sleep, which is where dreams usually occur. And you may make a few grunts and groans, and then maybe a quick move, and then fall back asleep again for the second cycle of deep sleep, which will be punctuated again at the end of that cycle by an ultradian rhythm shift, which will continue through the night with the sleep cycles getting shorter and less deep until you wake in the morning and have the transition from sleeping to waking. Now, when you go throughout the day, the ultradian rhythms continue, but in a slightly different way. So, on a day where there is no stress, if that exists for you, you will go about your daily business and you will have focused, conscious mind attention. You are alert, awake, and going about your business. But every 90 minutes or so, your unconscious mind will kick in and your conscious mind will go offline. And you will go into quite a creative space that is akin to daydreaming, that is akin just to your mind wandering. Sometimes you might even close your eyes and you might even lose sense as to where you are for that moment in time. Let me give you a few examples of when people go offline. I don't know if you've ever been driving a car on the motorway and you got on a motorway at junction 21, let's say. And as you're driving, you're concentrating. When it's junction 20, then it's junction 19, 18, 17, 16, 9. Junction 9. You went from junction 16 to 9 with no awareness. How did that happen? Who was driving the car? Were you abducted by aliens who put you back 6 or 7 junctions later? No, your unconscious was driving the car, and this is a moment in time where your unconscious said it's okay. You go offline, and the unconscious took over, and it was probably an Ultradian rhythm shift. And as you know, you're still here and you're still watching these DVDs, it's perfectly safe, because if there is anything to pay attention to, your unconscious will very quickly give you a signal in this driving situation. Boom, pay attention, here's some stimuli, because one of the major premises of the unconscious is to keep you safe. That's just a caveat on the driving. Just a warning, it's not useful to actually deliberately hypnotize yourself when driving. The purpose of that story is just to demonstrate to you what can occur when you are driving, when an ultradian rhythm shift occurs, or when your conscious mind goes offline. Another context could be perhaps you're at home watching television, getting a lot of stimuli coming from a TV screen. A friend, a partner, or loved one comes into the room and says, "Hi, darling, what are you watching?" And you, television. What program? Stuff. And you sheepishly admit that you have been staring at the screen, but you have no awareness as to what you've been watching. Your conscious mind was offline, and your unconscious mind was online. Now, research has shown that the reason why your conscious goes offline is because it needs some space to organize the stimuli that's been coming in the previous 90 minutes. This is why it's important in learning contexts to make sure there are sufficient breaks for people to have these offline breaks. It's important if you see somebody who's apparently daydreaming, perhaps to utilize the daydream rather than scare the hell of them and kick them out of it, because there's some good stuff that's occurring in those moments. Because the non-dominant hemisphere starts to process, the creative part of the brain is present, the brain waves have slowed down, which is a relaxation response, or beginnings of a relaxation response, and tying it in with what I said earlier, you are now entering a parasympathetic arousal state, or a state that is akin to trance, and it is the opposite of stress. And it is a very natural response that when stress does not exist in somebody's life, that will allow them to deal and cope fluently throughout the day. Now, when stress does exist in somebody's life, these 90-minute cycles do not occur as naturally. So if somebody's highly stressed and they're in the adrenaline state, they're in a sympathetic response, this natural rhythm will not occur. Or if it does occur, it'll be interrupted with the adrenaline response, or the response that is anti-relaxation. Now, what you're going to learn today here is a way of utilizing these natural periods when your body goes offline. You're going to learn a way today of how to utilize these so that you can live a stress-free life, or continually de-stress throughout the whole day. So when it comes to the evening, you are calm when you go home, and you can unwind and you can enjoy life at home.